Okay, roll call, Mayor Hasselbrink,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Doby,
Here.
Councilmember Churko,
Here.
Councilmember Nafolda.
Here.
Okay, and we just have one special order of the day is the consideration of the city council vacancy. Wendy, I'll hand this over to you.
So item 3A today is for the consideration of city council vacancy. Vacancy has occurred on the city council. Per the city charter and government code, the council has two options to fill the vacancy. They can either appoint a registered voter or hold a special election. If the council chooses to make an appointment in order to fill the vacancy, it must occur within 60 days, which will be November 4th. The council can decide the manner in which to make the appointment. The appointee just has to be a registered voter in Los Alamitos and reside in District 2. In the past, council has opted to appoint and have that appointee serve until the next election. Appointment occurs by the city clerk will publish a vacancy notice inviting applicants to apply. Will take in applications, resumes, and letters of interest and schedule applications for interviews in front of the city council at an open meeting. Following the interviews, the council would make a vote to appoint. Per the city's charter, since there are only 2 years left remaining on the term, the appointee would serve in the remainder of the unexpired term, which would be until November 2024. The other option is to hold a special election. So if the council would like to hold a special election or fails to appoint someone within 60 days, staff would work with the County of Orange to conduct the special election. Per the election code, the next established date is March 7th, 2023. If council chooses to do a special election, a separate staff report would be presented at a later date. City council can discuss the options that were outlined now and provided in the staff report. And as a matter of order, there was no one else. There are no members of the public participating on this video conference, and the city clerk's office did not receive any requests to speak on this item. I'll turn it over back to you, Mayor.
Okay, so we've got the two options. Any discussions or anything, or did we want to go straight to entertaining a motion?
I just have a question in the event we're asked. So it sounds like it's between appointing in the near term versus having a special election in March. Wendy, what I know I have a vague recollection of what a special election costs, but what do we think that would cost the city if we were to decide to do that?
So we did reach out to the ROV and they weren't able to provide us an election according to the recent figures. Historically, if we consolidate with the election and the county is having an election on the same date, it's about 12 grand.
12 grand. Okay. And, I guess I'll kick off the discussion. I mean, from my perspective, we've done this successfully in the past where we've appointed people. I know Councilmember Doby came on as an appointment. I came on as an appointment. And I'd consider us both very successful appointments. But, we would, if we decided to do an election, it would be costly. It wouldn't be for another, almost 6 months. We're not even sure anyone would run at that time. And that's a long time to not have a fifth council member. So I'm all in favor of appointing someone. But
yeah, and Mark, I agree. When Ron ran, there was somebody who ran against him, but she didn't put up a sign. There really wasn't a campaign other than just pulling papers. So I just don't see a lot of people there that would constitute an effective election and would probably end up being an appointment anyway after spending all the money.
Right.
So anybody else?
I agree. I think I was almost appointed, right? And then there was some rule or something like that where I had to then be put on the ballot. So I would be in favor of the appointment.
Yeah, you had to be put on the ballot because of the sales tax thing. It was a citywide thing, but other than that, you're technically appointed. I'm being appointed this coming term. We've actually had more appointments than actually electeds in the past few years. And that seems to be a trend in Orange County. I read an article a couple of weeks ago that they said 82 city council candidates are running unopposed in County of Orange. So it's not just us, it's everywhere. The districts don't help, but it is what it is. So I would also be in favor of doing an appointment. So can I get a motion on that?
I'll move it.
Okay,
Second it.
okay, and roll call vote, please.
I'm taking a roll call vote to direct the city clerk to advertise for applicants of interested parties, conduct interviews of all applicants, and then appoint to fill the vacancy at a special meeting. A motion by Mayor Pro Tem Dovey and seconded by Councilmember Dovey. Councilmember Chirko. Roll call, Mayor Hasselbrink,
Yes,
Mayor Pro Tem Dovey,
Yes.
Councilmember Chirko,
Yes.
Councilmember Nafolda.
Yes.
Motion passes.
and Wendy, right now we have on the calendar as a placeholder, a special city council meeting on Monday, October 24th.
That
That's
is correct.
interviews, and then is that something we plan on appointing that night? I know we have until November 4th. Or do we need to schedule another meeting to appoint?
It would be advisable to be prepared to appoint that evening, and that information will be included in our availability notice that we put out to interested applicants, that they should be prepared to interview on October 24th.
Okay, perfect. And then can we also, and I'm trying to just figure out some of the holes that we need to fill with Ron's passing. In that meeting, can we also talk about the vacancies that that's been created on other boards such as Sand District, Library Advisory Board? Can we add that so we can, I mean, I know it'll probably change in December, or do we want to hold that until the December meeting with the newbies coming on?
Just one newbie will come on at that time, right?
Yes, actually, yes. So do we want to, I mean, we could go either way. I know in December, most of the external boards are dark. So it would basically be the Sand District and Library Advisory Board. Technically, we could probably wait until December and do them all at once. Does that sound best?
Probably. I think I'm the alternate on the Library Advisory Board. So if there's a meeting in between now and then, I can take that.
Okay, and I'll talk to the guy at the Sand District. He was at Ron's service about what he wants to do in the interim, because I know they meet twice a month, once as a full board and once as a committee, but I'll talk to him about what they would prefer, if they would like somebody at the October and November meeting, and if legally we can do that, but just so we don't miss out on too much for that. So, okay. Sounds good. All right, I think with that, our meeting is adjourned.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.